Alright, I think this is going properly. I gotta get this off my chest right away. I'm waking up here in the dead of the night, sleeping nice and soundly. The dog tried to get me up to get out. I failed to get up. I was sleeping so soundly. And I wake up to the smell of, you know what, on the floor. It's not all her fault. I did punish her. She's in the kennel. Didn't have to touch her. I just have to say the word dog preceded by the word bad, and she's not happy. She knows what she did was wrong, but I was wrong too. So I got it cleaned up. Doesn't smell too good in here, but it's more my fault than it is her fault. But my sleep hours have been off. But pray for me, pray for better sleep. I like a little bit bigger motorhome. That's not too tall of an order. The economy is shaking out. Things are dying rather nicely. What a thing to say, huh? And so within a few months, the rig that I want will be in my hands. I know that already. My assets have been moved around. The dollar's ready for us to crash it. Yeah, it's up to you and to me to crash it. If you want to stop this nuclear war, if you want to stop the war in the Middle East, then we're the ones that have to crash it, not them. Those that run the money system are going to crash it for us if we don't crash it on them. Can we crash it? I wouldn't tell you it wasn't. I wouldn't tell you that it was a really good possibility unless it was real possible. How do you do it? Don't make a run on the banks. You can't make a run against these fiat currencies, these paper institutions. As much as Greg Manarino thinks he knows this shit, and he does, he keeps harping on the idea that we need to have a run on the banks. As far as I can tell, the banks and the government have authorized and printed up so much money and kept it in reserve for so long, they're itching. They're trigger happy. They want to pull that trigger. They want us to do a run on the banks. Why? So they have an excuse to pump all that currency out into the economy all at one time. You see, they want to take it down. And we do too. Except we want to take it down in a fashion that those sons of a bitches never get up again. Oh, and they want to do the same thing to us, only the difference is that they want to kill huge amounts of us. If they get us down to 500 million people, they're going to be very, very happy. If they get it down to 500 million? Yeah, 500 million. These numbers are so big, I have to think for a couple of seconds. But we can take it down for them. Yeah, we can bite the bullet. Take that bullet between your teeth and bite on it hard as you can. And tell the bankers, bite me. Not go to war anymore. Stop this thing in the Middle East. How? You do a different kind of a run. You do a run on silver in particular. Your silver bullet kills your frickin' vampires. What, you thought that was just a fairy tale? Well, it certainly is symbolic. Now, what do you want to use? Mercury instead? You can't have a run on mercury, can you? You can't have a run on gold, too. I mean, if you start buying and taking the gold off the market and silver off the market, the run will happen. The war will stop dead in its tracks. Maybe. Maybe not. You see, they've already got their lambs in place. Their sacrificial lambs. You know, they have to sacrifice human blood to their gods. Their lambs are in place. They put them in place a little while ago. Not long ago, I think last month they put them in place. What are the lambs? The lambs are Americans. American boys. I don't know about girls, because this branch of our sacrificial lambs didn't soften up their requirements so the girls could get through their basic training and become Marines. So I don't know what the female population is of the Marines. Nevertheless, my understanding is they go through everything in basic, including Quigley. I know you don't know what Quigley is, but basically they make a person roll over and swim upside down under a pipe, through a pipe that's longer than a man has got the oxygen for to get himself through. And the purpose of Quigley is to scare the hell out of them so they think they're going to die, but they don't die. I don't know who designed Quigley up. I don't know how long Quigley's been around. But one of the deputy wardens, man, I want to say, begins with an R. I should remember his name. He was one of those guys is a jarhead. I mean, he handles himself so well. And he loved training Marines. And what made him happiest than anything else was when he shook the cadet's hand and welcomed them as a Marine. They had made the grade. So Quigley was one of those life or death kind of courses where they made a man feel like he was going to die. And why? Because they wanted him to know that he could make it out there in the battlefield. That if he thought he was going to die, he'd have enough willpower and enough going for him that he would accomplish his mission. Well, that's right. They've got him in position. A bunch of Marines over there that don't have anything else to do. What are they doing there? They're not there for any strategic intervention, no tactical application, if you will. Maybe it is strategic. If it is, it's called dudgery. It's called a false flag. What, you think it hasn't happened before? The Marine barracks in Beirut, in which the Israelis killed how many of our Marines? A couple hundred. And what did you do about it? We didn't do a damn thing about it. That's like when the Israelis went after the USS Liberty and damn near sunk it. Killed, I think, 33 or 39 men instantly, right away in the attack. I think before it was all done, 100 of them had died within a week or something, within short order from the attack. And they attacked us with French Mirage jets, with British torpedo boats, I believe. I'm not sure what they used on us, but they used all this weaponry provided for them by the supposed free world in Europe. And then after they did that to us, we started supplying them with armaments. Isn't that insanity? Sure sounds insane to me. Look, you want to stop this war? I want to stop it because it'll go nuclear on us. That's all there is to it. It's real clear in the Bible. Can we stop it? That is not clear in the Bible. If enough Americans decide they've had it with this system and you want to correct it, you want to take the criminals out of power, then you got a power move right here in front of you. My question is, can you get to the silver and the gold and pull the plug on these bastards before they get to our Marines, and pull the plug on them and on the country because they got us all cranked up. Their CIA Mockingbird war machine is cranked up to the gills. All I see are military shorts on YouTube, a lot of them. A lot of them about our pilots and how they won this particular thing. They prevailed in that sortie. They prevailed this time, and they defended some drones, and they snuck up on these jets like they were real war heroes. Hell, our jets are so much better than them. It ain't fair. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. I need you to take it down. I need your help. We need to unite-ify, oh, there I go again, making up words. We need to unite-ify the country. We need to unite-ify Americans. We need to unite-ify free men and women everywhere to take this beast down. How do you slay Goliath? Well, you can't eat him one bite at a time, or can you? Every bit of silver that you buy and take off this market starts it up. Every bit of silver you buy and take possession of and take off this market. I don't like those coin dealers very much right now because they don't take it off the market. But we need them in there. We need to have the money changers in there with us because they're going to run the prices up. So either you die slowly and nuclearly, which will be pretty fast by the time that happens. Either you continue this slow march to the sea, the slow march to your death. It's a certain death. The outcome is certain. They're going to kill most of you, me. They're going to kill as many of us as they can. Unless you're willing to pull the plug on their ship and sink it on them, they'll kill us. They'll kill us all if they can get away with it. Dr. Kent, who would do that? Nobody in their right minds would do that. Who would do that? I mean, nobody, no rational man, woman, nobody's that bad. Nobody's that evil. Really? You got the gall to let them lambaste a particular guy with a Charlie Chaplin mustache and make him into the most vile, evil thing on the planet, and you never bothered to look into the gentleman. Please don't get me wrong, there were some problems with that outfit. I don't want you mimicking them. I don't want you worshiping them. I don't want you thinking they're God, they're your saviors. Then again, they seem to align themselves with a particular force that's stronger than anything that we know on the planet right now. Yeah, they knew something. They uncovered something. They almost won that war. Patton was right when he said we fought the wrong enemy. But Patton was wrong. And being wrong is what got him killed. What got Patton murdered was the fact that his bosses, his superiors, were the bad guys and in power and up above him. He caught wind of it. He was going to come back and run for president. He was going to expose them all, and they knew it. They spied on him rather well. And the chink in Patton's armor got his ass grassed. It took 3 leaders of 3 countries to kill the man. Who killed Patton? Ultimately, it was Stalin who sent his man in at the end. Patton had recovered after a week in the hospital, and they figured he was strong enough to transport back to the States. They couldn't have him coming back to the States for anything. Best general they ever had. Saved their asses how many times? And all they did is shit on him. Ike. Marshall. And look at the people who were in charge of running the war machine for the United States. Look at their characteristics. And you're going to hate me for saying this, but those people run the whole show today, especially when it comes to your medical, military, industrial complex. You need to start saying it, folks. Medical, military, industrial complex. Because your number one killers of the killing machine are not military. They take second seat to the military. And behind all that shit are the two biggest financial trusts independent of each other. And they aren't banks. The banks are right up there, though. That's what they let you see. They're hiding the other ones from you. They didn't get bombed during World War II. Their facilities never got touched. Why was that? Because they were running the show. They were in charge. I'm convinced the only way we have out of this thing as Americans is to go back to coined silver and coined gold. And we do it ourselves. We don't let them crash the dollar. We take the wind out of their sails. If you don't want to go back to the Constitution, then most of you are going to get your asses grassed. And same for the people around this planet. You're going to get them killed too. Because you're a dumbass and you won't wake up in time. Please don't get me wrong. I did some conversions last month in the hopes of buying a very nice motor home. And the son of a bitches in California lied again and tried to sell me a pig in a poke. It needed Bondo, bilateral Bondo. It needed Bondo on each side. The damn thing was scraped up. He hid that thing to the last moment. And also, the cap on the damn thing was in such bad shape, I was going to have to use some special NASA-made product. It could be done. Just cost money, that's all, to fix it. And the son of a bitch wanted way top dollar like it was pristine off the showroom floor, brand new. His price was so high, him and his wife were squeezing every dollar from me. So, I got a boatload of cash. Feels kind of good, but I don't want the cash. I want a little bit bigger, nicer motorhome. I want to be a little bit better organized. I want a real road machine. This is a road machine. When it comes to gas rigs, you don't do any better than this. You don't do better than this V8 engine with a Banks power pack. Cast iron heads, cast iron block. You don't have to rev her up to get her ass down the road. She's got torque. And she's in the shortest Class A motorhome. Well, it was the shortest till about 5 years ago. So she handles real nice. I ain't giving this one up unless I get what I want. And what I want is I want the diesel rig of all times with an engine that was made so well and is still made today so I can get support for it. It is not cheap. It's like the Porsche of motorhomes when you get to those power plants. They are expensive. Got to make the right decision or it'll put me on the streets, not on the road. Bankrupt my ass and I'll be homeless. Yahweh's blessed me. He's kept me just enough to stay off the streets. So I'm on the road. Which is about perfect in this society we have going on today. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to have roots. None of these state jurisdictions impress me one bit. You know, the problem with Alaska is it's so socialist and so communist now, and the libtards have got their midst into it so deeply that the resources are wasted. The rubber doesn't meet the road up there. We have one well that provide all the oil you need here in the country. You just have to retap it, discovered in 1974, and build a few miles of pipeline, which would take one summer season to do. You don't have to drill in Alaska again. Pipeline will be filled at 100% capacity for a long, 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 long time. At least 1,500 years from one well. Because that well's got so much capacity, the pipeline doesn't have the capacity to transport it. Well, it does. It's just going to take time. It's going to be filled for 1.5 millennia. Not centuries. 1.5 thousand years. And the royalties would be just outrageous. Nobody in Alaska would ever have to work again. Or would we? Would the price of oil come down finally? I'd be all for that. Your planet's about ready to throw you off anyway, and you can't prepare for it. They won't let you know about it. They won't. We should be discussing that. We should be talking about that honestly, about the history of the planet and the cycle it goes through every 12,068 years. We're coming up to that in short order. You don't have that much time to prepare. Me, I'm going to be gone by then. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I might be able to see that. That would be wonderful, I think. But my dreams let me know it's going to be pretty horrible. And my child nightmares, my night terrors were absolutely horrible. I dreamt it over and over and over again, almost every night. Yeah, there won't be many survivors of the globalists and their nuclear war. There won't be many survivors of when the Earth decides it's time to recycle itself. It's time for a real reset. And you can't control that one. You can watch it happen. You can go into the caves, make a study of the artwork so you can see what's coming. And there's several different pieces of artwork on those caves all around the world at the same time. They didn't have any way to communicate with each other. How did they actually all paint, all draw the same things? It's because they saw it and it was horrible. It was devastating. Most of the devastation was on the North American continent back at that time. That's why it became known as the wilderness, because people were afraid to inhabit the place. This place got the snot kicked out of it. This next time, Europe and Africa. Mostly Europe takes the hit. So they want to genocide the Europeans. Okay. Whatever they miss, the planet will clean up on. We have plenty to talk about and discover and deal with. We certainly don't need this bullshit going on in the Middle East. And who did 9/11? We have a predator problem. Our guests have become predators on us. We invited them here in our magnanimity, thinking they would love us. They wouldn't want to destroy us. It's wonderful over here. We brought them in. They settled. And they went about their business of destroying another civilization. They're behind everything to take this country down. I can't stop them. Can you stop them? Yeah, we can. We go back to constitutional rule. We go back to self-rule. We do a real reset, a return to self-rule. They're going to be kicking our butts. They're going to be using everything they have to stop us, especially How many men have they brought into this country? They're ready to arm up and use against us. How many terror cells are just waiting for the orders to do their terrorism inside this country? And you think you're the latest and the greatest and so important that nobody dare do that to you. They're already here, folks. They've been here for a long time. This government has been bringing the enemy into the country and settling the enemies for decades. They brought over 5,000 Republican Guard in the first installment. Then they brought over 5,000 more. That was under Bush Sr. And those guys were jihad. I met them. I met 2 of them at the border on Interstate 8. Bush sent us over. Yeah, I read it in a little column in the newspaper. Got that habit from my dad. And I figured out that's all a bunch of propaganda anyway. But you get a little bit of truth on there once in a while. Yeah, I told him. Yeah, I know Bush brought you over. Guess he figured he can talk to me. Remember, everybody opens up to me and talks to me. One of them was tall and skinny. And the other one was short. And one of them did the talking, and the other one did the head nodding. The one doing the talking wasn't the senior officer. The taller one. The senior officer was a shorter guy, my height. I knew what I had standing in front of me. I also knew we had 2 .357 revolvers in the back of the car in a paper bag, and I was trying to figure out how the hell to get to them because I wanted to dispatch them on the spot. But I also realized, hell, I'm here at the fruit inspection station at the border crossing here in Yuma. I can't do anything. My fiance was foreign born, and she told me she needed to carry her passport on her. I didn't realize how important it was, and I forgot she looked Mexican, I guess. She was a mix from Taiwan, Hakka and Taiwanese. Yeah. Indigenous peoples. They were considered the brunt of the runts over there of that population as well. They were discriminated against pretty badly. I did go over. I did meet her parents. Thank God I didn't marry her. My heart was broken. I was devastated once again, but that was the best outcome. You need to get it together, and you need to buy silver. Why silver? Because when this thing comes apart, that's what you're going to use in your transactions. Gold is going to be too valuable. You're not going to be able to get change. You pull out some gold, somebody will probably kill you for it right there in the spot. What do you want? As I told my friend a week ago, and I hope she bought before the prices started popping up again, she had a choice. She could either buy a handgun, 9mm, or she could buy silver. And she had some legal problem with the criminal justice system that held her ass up. And she wanted to spend $1,000. I told her, go get yourself a roll of silver coins, silver dollars, silver rounds. It's about $500 for that. And get yourself a bunch of dimes. You know, you've heard of the March of Dimes? Those silver dimes? You're going to want dimes. You want to buy a gallon of gas? 2 thin little silver dimes should get you a gallon of gas. Folks, I do make this up as I go. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, talking here into my electronic leash, trying to get the messages out to you. You can bring Goliath down. You got the power. But you have to be willing to sit it out a little bit. You need to buy your silver now. Right now. Dr. Kent said so. You buy it today if you can. But it's Saturday. Well, the price is going to be the same today as it was yesterday for all weekend. So get yourself to one of these exchanges. Hell, I dropped a whole bunch in those places recently. And I didn't get good money. I got screwed on it pretty badly. I lost on it. That was my fault for believing these Californians once again that they were offering me real value, and the guy hid the body damage on this coach. And I couldn't quite get the money up for it. I finally told him when I saw it and saw what happened, I was upset. I told him, you damaged me. I would not have cashed in that cheaply if I had known he was trying to sell me a pig in a poke. He was defrauding me. And he says, I don't see any Bondo. I says, no, it's going to take Bondo on both sides. Scratch on the driver's side that he couldn't get out by buffing, but he thought he could. Come on, man, it's in the metal. You got a 3 or 4 foot long, bright, silvery aluminum groove showing right through, 3 of those hatches in a row? What the hell did you scrape? And you don't want to fess up and confess that your poor driving on this machine caused that? You took one of the best made coaches ever, and you neglected the damage on the roof so that the sun and everything gets to the fiberglass? So now she's got to be treated with a special fiberglass material, which could be done. It exists. You just have to buy it. You just have to pay for it. Yeah, by the time you're done with that thing, you're going to have a Bondo Queen. I don't like Bondo. And a fair price on that coach would have been 10 grand less than what they were demanding for it, if it was in mint shape. I told him, you just lost half the value on your coach. Oh, to me, it's just a little scratch. Take it to a body guy. You know, if it was me, I would have filed the insurance claim on it. I would have fessed up and said, oh, shit, man, did I damage this thing? I got to get it fixed properly. But I'm kind of glad, because there it was exposed on not just the driver's side, but the passenger side and the radius. It was supposed to be just the passenger side radius. Oh, my God, the rear end looked so bad up there. My roommate, my housemate said to me, John, how the hell did he hit something that high up? It looked that bad. Yeah, it was repairable, but it had to be done, and soon, or you were going to lose your fiberglass. People don't take care of their stuff, and they're going to pass their screw-ups on to somebody else. Now, I got some problems with this rig. I got to admit it. But I got solutions for it, and I know what the problems are. I'm going to be as honest as I can be about it, and I'm not happy about what's got wrong with it, but I just got the rear hatch fixed. I just got the water leak fixed. I'm waiting either parts on the steps or brand new steps. The people at RV Renovators, their technician destroyed my steps on purpose in front of me. He jumped on them before they had deployed fully. Son of a bitch did it on purpose right in front of me. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Oh, and they're not going to be responsible for that. We can go to small claims court maybe on it. I don't know just yet. I would not recommend RV Renovators to anybody. The owner's attitude towards people like me is very, very poor. I wondered why that was, so I looked him up. Found out he was one of them. Yeah, they teach them every weekend that it's okay to hurt the rest of us. That our purpose is to serve them. Okay. It's raining, so you're being saved by that. I got to drop the hatch down in the rear. It's over the bed. The one up front, the sensors will take off on it, and it will close pretty soon. When that happens, I know I got to move fast. I need you to buy my Bibles. There is no link in this description. I lost it on the doggone clipboard. So it's hard for me to do it. You'll find it in one of the previous videos. It's not important that I make money. This society is over. Any money I make at this point is really pretty much too late anyway. I'm not here to profit off the name of Yahweh. I get criticized by some of the teachers that you're not supposed to do that. You can't do that. Well, I don't mind making a few bucks off selling these Bibles. It's not much. There she goes. There's the hatch. So what do I want you to do? I want you to buy my Bible. Several different formats of the thing, even the large print one, which is what I use. You can get tab versions, which are really, really deluxe and very nice. And if you've never read the Bible before, get the tab version. Don't waste your time searching for the books back and forth. Now, I'm going to have to move real fast here and close that rear bedroom hatch, but you can take Goliath down. You can take these illegal bankers down that have been robbing you of everything, including yourself. They've got title and bonds on all of us. You think you have a title to your vehicle? Oh, hell no. It's a certificate of title. You don't own it. The bank owns it. Or the state owns it. They're all in cahoots. It's all one big criminal enterprise. May Yahweh bless. Buy your silver now. Go get dimes in particular, and then quarters. Get small amounts so that you can eat on a daily basis. Buy silver now. And if you can afford to buy gold and put it aside, get it too. Yahweh bless. Real money is in the Bible. Read the Bible. It'll tell you what money is. It's not this Babylonian money magic BS they've enslaved us with, and they've stolen it all by using their system. And they've caused all these wars and all the bloodshed for how many centuries? They did our Civil War, folks, to us. They did the world wars to us. Yahweh bless.